Feral Friday is a podcast about dark romance and monster smut. So if you're not down for weird shit, this is not the show for you. Content may include explicit sexual description, explicit language, conversations about human to monster, and monster to monster sexual activities. Masturbation, questionable consent, morally gray ethics, murder out of jealousy, BDSM themes and tropes, fictional pregnancy, violence, emotional gut-wrenching story arcs, and all of the kinks. Oh, and dubious insertion of inanimate objects. We're multicultural, multipolitical, multisexual, multiracial group. We believe in inclusiveness, body positivity, bodily autonomy, and human rights for all. But we also like talking about characters getting railed by monsters and humans alike. Overall, prepare for cackling, tangents, general unhinged commentary. We're probably going to annoy the majority of the general population, but if you don't like it, instead of clutching your pearl necklace, you can just not listen. Okay, thanks, bye! I feel liquid heat between my legs, and it sends an irritating tickle around my slit. The second I shift my legs, I freeze. A gasp catches in my throat because these are absolutely not my sheets or blankets. Without opening my eyes, too frozen with fear, I ever so slightly curve my fingertips and rub my arms on those sheets. Mine are scratchy and smell faintly of TV dinners and cheap body wash and shampoo. Nowhere near this soft and lush. The sheets and blankets all around me smell like cloves and balsam fir. Oh, bloody elves, am I still dreaming? And why did I spend more time wondering about the nature of the sheets and not why am I fucking naked as a plucked goose? My nipples are still puckered and they harden even more at the thought of someone taking off my angel costume. Wait, not all of it. I register when I wiggle my hips and realize the wings are still bound to my back. Why on earth? What in all bloody red-nosed Rudolph is going on? When I finally work up the courage to open my eyes, I tilt my head and narrow them at the canopy above my head. That is definitely not my ceiling. And my cheap mattress and box springs don't have a canopy. And it would never have one like that. My pulse quickens with the telltale hum of adrenaline in my blood as I take in my surroundings. Twinkling fairy lights weave with care and beauty into the lush fabric, a deep red like poinsettias in full fresh bloom. Sheer red curtains surround the bed, cocooning me. And while the sheets are black, the blankets are fleece, pure wintry white fleece. The tasseled ends of a soft wool throw, red to match the canopy. Slowly I rise, forgetting that I'm naked as a pluck goose until a low growl resonates from the opposite side of the room. Holy Santa Claus, jingle shitballs! And that was Kidnapped by the Krampus by Emily Shore.
I'm Sarah One, and I'm reading Frosted by Juno Delight.
I'm Ivy, and I'm reading A Debt of Time by Shayalani on AO3.
I'm Erin, and I'm reading Tasting Red, a spicy Red Riding Hood retelling by Holly Roberts.
I'm Sarah too, and I am still reading A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas.
I'm Marie, and I'm reading What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. Welcome to episode 5 of Feral Friday podcast, Unhinged and Unbothered, a podcast where we talk about smut.
It's the multiple iterations of plucked goose.
Oh, that drove me nuts.
Okay, but pluck goose is the thing that I loved most about.
Yeah, it's the part that makes it ridiculous.
It's
a visual.
The part that took me out of that scene was the black sheets with the white fleece. Because I have black sheets and I have a blanket that has white fleece, and those motherfuckers have white fucking lint all over them.
That is terrible.
It's actually a terrible idea.
It's a terrible idea.
Oh
you could tell a man designed this room. Because he didn't take it into account.
Speaking of designed by men, welcome to episode 5. We all read one specific book, and it was so wild that I think all of us have completely different takes on it. Some of us didn't finish it. Some of us left out certain parts of the book. Some of us went full tilt.
I'm just confused.
And that tracks.
Yeah, it tracks.
I was
So
also confused, Murray.
Well,
It
the
took me a
beginning
couple
is very
times.
confusing. The beginning, you're kind of like, what's happening? There's all these like fake high tech terms that they use, like
Yes.
flex phone.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a flex phone? Like, you don't describe what it is. You just say, I answered my flex phone. Well, what the fuck is that?
I kept going
It was
back.
a device on their wrists that was like a
It was a
hologram phone.
walkie-talkie.
It was like a
Yeah,
It was
hologram
a
phone,
watch.
I
It was
think.
a
But the
watch.
problem is, when she called it flex phone, I'm imagining like an 80s Nokia that
A flip
Oh
phone.
my God.
I saw a razor, like an old school
Pressure.
razor.
I was thinking about a
Yeah.
That's
razor
so
too.
funny.
Ugh.
No, there
But
was
yeah.
like one line, I think, in the first chapter where they said like he looked at his forearm at his flex phone and the hologram popped up or something like that. Like there was
I'm
one little
wondering
description.
if she mentions flex phones in other stories. So this is Kidnapped by the Krampus by Emily Shore. And it looks like they had that Emily has quite a few other like very themed books. Obviously, we're talking about monster smut, so it's going to be a theme. And I'm wondering if there's like an overarching like universe that we just
Universe,
don't know
yeah.
about because we haven't this book just came out.
That's entirely
Like it
possible.
just came out on
The second? December
November
2nd?
13th, November 13th of this year was published.
Wow.
Yeah.
So here's your
I would say
first
that's still a brandy
review.
new book.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they've got other ones like Bride of Lucifer and other things, but this book was a trip. So essentially we have Twyla, who is an office assistant to a sleazy something or other corporate lawyer
She's a
who
journalist.
is she's a journalist. Okay, I thought she
Yeah.
was oh no, he was screwing his assistant and she walked in,
Yes.
so she's being punished for
Uh-huh.
an accident.
She's an intern.
Intern.
She's
Yep,
an
I'm like,
intern.
she's something. And
She's
so
low on the totem
essentially
pole.
she's very low and she wants to go to Christmas World. And instead, or like, no, she wants to go to Krampus World, but there's two big cons, I would say, like Comic
Yeah.
Con.
I equated it to like SantaCon,
Yep.
and it's
Yep.
like a Krampus con.
Yep, there's a Krampus
Yes.
Con. She's all excited. She's supposed to go in and get a super new story of something about the guy who owns all of Krampus Con, who lo and behold is actually Krampus.
I think that's what it was that she was trying to see, like, is it the real Krampus or not?
Or is
Yeah.
it fake?
Yeah,
Right.
or
She
if
was
it's
there to
fake.
find like the smoke and mirrors behind it all.
Right.
Found
Which
something.
if like there's a Krampus, if it's Krampus Con, why would the real Krampus be there? Like
That's
it's like a tourist
hiding
trap.
in
So why?
hiding in plain sight.
I
I would
guess, but
almost
that
say.
that was the first thing that annoyed me.
And I did like the I'm dressed as an angel, but I'm not just an ordinary angel. I'm a special fallen angel.
Pick me.
I'm not like other girls.
So anyway, obviously Twyla's walking through this entire con. He's got obviously his right hand demon man. Can't remember this man's name.
Mephisto.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Mephisto.
Plucks her out of the actual thing and is like, "Hey, you want to drink with a stranger?" Which does not set off any red flags.
Right.
That happens because the past that she has is a fake.
Yes. Yeah.
And he finds her out.
He can like
Yep.
sense her.
Ugh. What else can he send?
It's
If he's in
weird.
a room that big with people dressed in lederhosen,
And he's like,
I'm
I got
wondering.
you.
You don't smell that ripe. She goes up the equivalent of the nightmare elevator from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory to the penthouse, where she is convinced that this is the most real life cosplay she's ever seen. And
Right. He's just
then
some weirdo billionaire who
yep, weirdo billionaire. I will say the dub con is listed as a trigger warning on this book. Because then we immediately go into she's got like the hots for him, but then he drugs her a little bit to
he
enhance
roofies her.
A little,
to
just a
enhance
little.
like a little bit. It's supposed to bump up the horny feeling she's already feeling, and then basically does what I like. I equal this out in my head to what a lot of alien smut does. The full body scan. Let's do the inspection to make sure the human can carry this alien spawn. That is
And
what he does to
what was
her.
the most important part?
The
Her
butthole.
asshole.
Why?
Why? It never tells us. They're just like Krampus like sniffed her asshole and was like, she's good, she's
Well,
clean. Because
from,
there's
from
a
my
sneeze in
how,
your
like,
asshole.
animalistic beings
it was
meet each
it was
other.
because he had to check. It was because he had to check to make sure she wasn't like infected with something. But it's like I don't love that.
Worms? Does she
Wait,
have
what is
worms like a dog?
what's the butthole STD? I don't know. I've never heard of a
Here we
butthole
go on
Butt
my work
herpes.
computer.
Google it.
What is a butthole STD
I
on
am
my
not
work?
Googling that.
Burpees.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
There is anal herpes.
Mhm.
Ugh.
The result of herpes simplex virus HSV, particularly HSV-2, that differs from -1, which is oral herpes. So if you
Wait.
have
So number 2 is butthole herpes.
yeah.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
Oh God.
Yeah. And then she ends up obviously staying. It takes her what? Correct me if I'm wrong. It takes her 2 weeks to realize that the costume is not coming off.
Yes.
So anyway, it takes about 2 weeks for Twyla to realize that Krampus is not just living in his stink suit like Batman.
And
And
in these 2 weeks, there's been a lot of oral sex.
yes, he just
And
will
she's
only go down on her.
What is up with the word cunny?
cunny. I'm
Honey, I
calling
believe
It's like
is
a
a
nice
UK.
name for cunt.
Yeah, I think it's a UK word. If I might correct me if I'm wrong, this could be a future oopsies. Cunny is one you find out more in the European circuit of smut. Oh my God. More
Okay.
in the European circuit of smut writers. Now that I can say it without burping into the mic.
it's my new favorite word, so
Yeah,
I like
definitely.
honey.
I'm gonna use
I
it all the time.
honey
Oh
is
God.
I don't mind it. I did not like the one of the few moments where I did put the book down was when he started to call it nether lips.
That was my favorite.
I
kept
missed that.
laughing
I like
every
that.
time. Because then she starts calling it her nether lips. And I
Yep.
was like, everybody's calling it the nether lips now.
Yep, nether lips. I did want to note that the word cream is used 23 times.
You
Too
And now-
many.
did.
Too
You-
many
You can look it
times.
up in Kindle.
You
You
found
can look up
my
the word.
you found my
How
biggest
about,
reason for DNFing this book.
Cream. It was
Yeah,
a creamy book.
That is why I DNF'd it. I didn't need to read about cream or sugar cookies or honey or like
Everything was
insert
baked
food
good.
item here.
Sweet
Everything
honey
was good.
cream.
Everything.
That was
Yep.
my favorite. That was a good one.
I will say I think I found my new favorite word for clit. Nugget of gold.
Yes, that was a good one.
Oh, do you want to know what mine was?
Oh yeah.
Fleshy bell.
Yes, I had that one
I
highlighted
missed
too.
Oh,
Which was like
my God.
This-
right next to it. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everything in this book, like all the descriptions and then all of her like curses are so
Yeah.
over the top holiday.
Mhm.
Like
It was a lot.
It was
it's
a
like
lot.
shoving
It was
it down your
very
throat.
in theme.
On the same page, you have little cherub,
Yeah.
nether lips, fleshy bell.
Yeah.
But then you have this description, which is a vestibule of her pleasure center that smells
Vestibule.
sweeter than a mince pie.
That is a big word to be followed by mince pie.
Vestibule of her pleasure center that smells
Is
sweeter
mince
than a
pie
mince
meat?
pie. It's actually
Or is it fruit?
like raisins and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's raisins and stuff.
It is delicious,
What is
but
the stuff?
it's fruits.
Okay.
Fruits.
I don't know why I always
Fruits.
thought it had meat.
There is like you can make a sweet mincemeat. But yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
a lot
know.
of
Excuse me, I
Oh,
grew
a
up
lot of
somewhere
Bigfoot.
else.
Yeah. There was also a kernel of pleasure. That was a good one.
Kernel, yep.
Popcorn? Like
When she squirts, it's a stream of cream.
yes.
If that is the consistency, I am
Concerned?
concerned.
Horrified.
I think you should see a doctor.
Later in the book, like at the end, he refers to it as her Christmas pudding pussy.
Yeah.
Stop.
And I was just like,
I didn't think that far.
There was like so much food play in this. Like that was
so
there
much.
were like
It was
I
all
don't
of
know.
it.
I'm not a fan.
I didn't think I just couldn't wrap my head around like if this is meant to be food satire, it's excellent. It is so fucking funny to me. I laughed out loud reading it. That like I said, there are just certain points where I drove into a ditch.
Yeah.
But I loved it because I thought it was funny. I don't know if she meant to write it to be funny. Because we get onto this whole thing where she finally Krampus has magic 2 words. This whole thing to accept that Twyla is going to be the Christmas bride, or the Yule bride, the Queen of Yule, where she has to say thank you to him, which is a very huge part of they have a very dom sub BDSM relationship, whether it be tying it up with Christmas lights or actual chains, yada yada. They do a great I'll give her my gold star clap clap to like following through with the aftercare on everything with this kind of relationship, but she did an excellent job with that. But then in the end, I was really confused. So the bad guy in this book is Santa.
Right.
It is Saint Nick. I love when Santa's the bad guy. I do. I like it like not in like a I'm in love with Santa. Like no, like take like I want this dirty old man to be
But
bad.
you hear why evil Santa, like you hear his origin story at the end as to why he's evil Santa. And it's like he has the gold star complex.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. It's so something happens where Santa offers Twyla a deal. Twyla breaks down, goes through with the deal, betrays Krampus, has her memory wiped essentially, and goes into a fake universe where she's, it kind of starts at the beginning where she has to go do this journalist thing, and she goes to Santa World instead of Krampus World, and she still ends up getting back to Krampus, and everything works out
because it's true love.
It's true love.
True
We love
love.
it.
I love Krampus the demon.
And then she and Krampus do it on his mother's altar.
Which
I know.
is
Yeah.
a lot.
Well, actually, isn't his mother?
And he's like,
Hel,
"Mother
who is
will
also
love
the
this."
goddess of death?
Yep. His mother is Hell,
He's
goddess
like,
of death, 100%
Mother will be
Ivy.
so pleased.
And he
No.
even
That
references
gave me-
his grandfather. No, his uncle Loki, I
Yeah.
believe as
He's
well.
like,
He's like, I'm
such
not
a trickster.
yeah, I'm not as mischievous as my uncle, which we love a little bit of Norse mythology nod, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And then the book ends. And then there's an epilogue that I didn't read.
Oh, I didn't
Read
touch
it and then
that.
deleted it from my brain because I thought the book was perfect without the epilogue.
The book was like I don't have a lot of shit to talk about it in general, which is saying a lot because I like to talk
Yeah.
shit.
It's your love
but-
language.
It is. But like it was 780 pages. Like 760 of those is Krampus eating puss.
Yep. I'm
And
into it.
honestly, towards the end, I was just kind of skimming because I was like, okay, he's licking our pussy again. Great. All right, we've done this for 600 pages already. Like, let's move on.
Yeah.
So I kind of like started skimming at the end. And then there was the epilogue that made me very angry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would even say like with like the eating of the pussy. There was even a moment where he was like, "Oh, I have all these dildos and toys I'm gonna use to help train her so she can
But
be
they skipped over
stretched."
that part.
And
Any
she
penetration, they
yes, and I was like,
skipped
"Wait, what
over.
happened to all the dildos?" Because like then that would have given us some extra spice and some variety
Yep.
as we get there, and skipped over it. I'm like, what? Like,
What I'm wondering is, so I read another Krampus book right before I read this. And I think it's, if anyone is familiar with the traditional Krampus, this motherfucker's got a long ass tongue. He's got a real long tongue and it's very dexterous. So I read the naughty list by Taylor Fox, and a huge emphasis on this book, and what we're probably going to find out because it is now December, and our book club is reading really very special holiday reads. We have um Mpreg Omega Verse Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. We've got lots of different weird Saint Nick. We've got some weird elf ones. I did find a Hanukkah alien one. But
I read another Krampus book before this one too.
did it have a lot of licking of the puss?
No.
Because mine did.
So mine didn't, and mine, it was short. I read Paddled by Krampus.
Okay.
That was 36 pages long. So like, it's 45
Okay,
minutes.
the one, yeah, the one I
Nice.
read was 302 pages.
Oh yeah, no. I started with a shorty. And the Paddled by Krampus, I think, was written for a male audience
Okay.
because for most of the story, which, it's 36 pages. So for 30 pages, she's having orgasms due to like a magic potion that she drinks.
Oh,
So
okay.
nothing's happening to make her orgasm. She's just spontaneously orgasming.
This
So
sounds
it's
like that book I read the cold open for. What is it? All I Wanted Was Sushi, but instead I got abducted by aliens by Petra Palermo. She takes a, granted this was Alien verse. She's given a serum where she like is just coming constantly.
yeah, so same thing. So
Yeah.
she drinks the potion, she's just coming constantly. But it's like, that's not, as a woman reader, I'm like, all right, so you're just coming.
That gives me
That
nothing.
gives me
That does
nothing.
nothing.
And then you finally get to the sex scene, and it's like, and then they fucked. The end. And you're like, all right. Okay.
Is that on the list?
Blue balls, yes. If I had balls, they'd be blue.
Oh my God. Yeah, it just, I don't know, like it's, I would say I think people should read this.
I did enjoy the story.
Yes.
I thought that was pretty cool. I enjoyed the world and like learning about Krampus Haven and like the townsfolk.
like
And I could
that.
totally read a series about like the different people in that town, like as like not even as like
Yeah,
a
I
smut
was very
series.
interested when they went into the village. I
But
wish there
I
was more
love
there.
Krampus lore.
Yep.
Yeah, I love Krampus lore. Like Ted and I like celebrate Krampus night. Like we do like we watch Krampus and we do like it's like part of our like tradition this time of year. So like I enjoyed that. But yeah, I was like getting bored with the oral sex. Just like
Page after
like
page
oh, I
after
need
page.
more.
I
Like
want to
I
know
did
how
like
many
luckily the
orgasms
bondage.
we had.
I
How
should
many
account.
Yeah, the
orgasms did we
bondage.
have?
Yeah, the bondage helped like to like change it up,
Yeah.
but I was also like I need some
He
something
could have
other
done something with
stimulation
that
happening.
tail. Just turn it out there. What that
Yeah.
tail do? Show
Right.
me.
Well, and such interest
Tails
in
can do a
her,
lot.
so being so concerned about her forbidden hole at the
They
beginning,
barely
you would
touched it.
think
Never
that there would
touched
be
it.
a lot more anal
Nope.
play, and there wasn't. And I'm not
Nope.
even into that all that much myself, but in this situation, I would have enjoyed a little bit of that
If you're going
variety.
to allude to it, follow through.
Yeah, especially with that tail. Okay, so
It
you
was
can't
written
stick
there.
your-
The tail needed to
Right.
be inserted into the butthole.
If you're not ready to stick your dick in her, like do the tail.
Right.
I'm a
Like-
simple creature. Put the tail in the asshole. That's all I want.
That's all I ask.
That's all I ask.
But it does describe his dick at the end. His Krampus's cock
Huge.
goes from like it says his balls like rest on her pelvis, and I think they call it the crown.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's her chin. So his dick is the length of her torso. But
Caught that.
But don't worry,
That
he's
would
got a magic dick.
kill her.
Nope, because he's got a magic dick. So he just goes
I-
hoobadaloo, and then it doesn't hurt.
He said her bones will rearrange if
This
necessary.
is an Orpheus level
Orpheus dick. Right.
of Orpheus
Yes, and
dick.
she says at one point she looks down and she can see the outline of his dick through her skin.
There are some people
I'm like, that means
so
your
into
organs are
that.
literally moving around.
Moving out of the
Yeah.
way. They parted like the Red Sea.
Marie!
It's appropriate to say that given the epilogue.
I love Marie. She's so like sweet and innocent, and then she comes with these one-liners.
Oh my god.
I'm glad you think
Sort of
that.
like the Red Sea.
Yeah.
I only, like I said earlier, I only made it 10% in, and that is because I did not like all of the references to like food. But also, one thing that I just could not get out of my head was when talking about, his favorite thing to do. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I removed the hood. What is she, a
Oh my
car?"
god, the hood thing kills me. That is like all right.
Lifted it right
Is
up.
she a
The
truck?
hood, as far as like, and for if anyone doesn't realize, they're referring to the highly technical term in a woman's vagina, the clitoral hood. That not everyone has to different degrees. Like it is present in the vagina, but every
Hers is
vagina
very
is
large.
different. Yep. Hers is huge. Huge.
Lift it right
Huge
up.
hood.
It's like a Sith Lord.
I'm thinking of those nice cars that open up on the side door all the way up. What are they called? Suicide doors?
Yes.
Just the labias move up like suicide doors.
Great.
And all right, I'll give it one more. Like I'll put it on my naughty list of words I don't want to see. Squelched.
Oh, squelch.
I didn't anticipate them say. I like for some
They said
reason
it
I
a
was like,
lot.
yeah, I'm gonna get the stats on that right now. I don't
Yeah.
particularly
But
want to.
going back to the size too, because she does give him oral at one point.
Which is impossible.
And now that we know at the end, unless he is extremely skinny and he doesn't have a whole lot of girth going
He's a
on, there's
noodle.
no way this girl is giving him oral.
My thoughts exactly.
She would not be able to get. I'm making a gesture. I'm using my hands. Like
I am.
there's no
pantomiming.
way. I'm pantomiming how big this would have to be. I'm thinking like
Her mouth could
at
not
least
stretch
this big
that
around.
long
At
or
least.
that wide.
That's like an
And I
ice
have
cream.
I
Like
do have a small
full
mouth,
size.
but I think she was rather small. So like
she does make it
I-
seem like she's super dainty. I
Yeah.
do see like I'm looking at
this is as big as my mouth can go.
squelching was
And that's not-
only
no.
referred to 3 times, which I felt like it was
Really?
more just because I don't like that
Yeah.
word. Yep. I see squelching and sucking and strangling. A wet squelching sound ruptures from my center. Squelching around those balls I struggle to hold.
Ugh,
That's a queef.
that's a queef.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I do. Okay, I wish there was a point where like I was super excited that she started to learn German. At the end as a surprise
Norwegian?
to him, or is it what I wasn't
So-
exactly sure.
She was
It started
wasn't
as like,
German.
German, and then
Yeah.
it says that he talks in like Norse or Norwegian,
Okay.
which
In
is
my brain, I
confusing.
automatically that might be my brain.
It
he
definitely
prefers Old Norse, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whereas he uses like a German like
Germanic
dialect
version.
usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
I liked
he
it,
just
though.
starts speaking English, like at the end. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
he's just like, "Hey, Twilight, what's going
Mhm.
on?" And she's like, huh?
What's up?
"What's up, bitch?"
I think the author got tired of like having to like translate everything.
Every
Which is
single
like
thing.
I like
Okay,
that.
They need to have an actual conversation. But Yeah, I did like the different like nicknames and stuff that she had.
Yeah, I just finished another book. It was what I was reading in the last episode, The Isle of Sin and Shadow, and it takes place in New Orleans, and it's a very weird subdialect of like Creole. It's Valier, which I know is like a legit thing, and they pepper that in, but it also has like the vocab list at the front of it. And they would pepper in like the main character would pepper it in when he was speaking the to the chick there. But I really there's like a lot of, I think it was so outrageous, and especially coming from the last episode we were talking about movies where like I want a theme and I want to commit to that theme and be
You want a
full
theme?
throttle.
This is a theme.
Be
Wow.
Fucked in the face by this thing.
Honestly,
Yes. Yes.
you're just swimming in it.
No, I appreciated
Yeah.
that. I loved all the silly nicknames, and like we would love that in our book club too, is having the nicknames. So I did enjoy the book. I didn't rate it as high, but that's mainly because the epilogue ruined it for me. But
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
do like
Can we talk about that?
oh yeah, the epilogue. So it is revealed throughout the time why Twyla loves Christmas.
Like why she's like
Oh,
traumatized.
I skipped
Yep.
it.
So Twyla loves Christmas because they don't exactly say what secular religion or cult she was a part
It was
of,
a
but it was one
Jehovah.
that it was a Jehovah.
It was
Yeah,
Jehovah.
it was they don't name the Jehovah's, but it's Jehovah where they do not ever celebrate any holidays. Like it's
it might
very
even be Seventh Day.
yeah, it's like
One of
hardcore
those two,
sinful,
similar.
like you cannot do anything, like no holidays period. So obviously in a response, which I think is a very normal response, and I like Christmas a lot. I like my holidays to be their own things. Like I encourage the Halloween creep up for the season. I don't love the Christmas creep. Just let me survive Thanksgiving. And then I put my lights up early, turn them all on, got my little mini tree up. I get why she's full-blown Christmas, but anyway, we go into this whole thing where she's like super devoted to the idea of Christmas, and they have a moment in the epilogue where they sit down in front of the tree and like silently pray.
The nativity scene.
It's a nativity scene. Thank you.
Right. Like they go see baby Jesus in the nativity scene, and she's like, "This is it, Krampus. This
This
is
is
it."
it.
And
This
he's
is the
like,
best
"Yeah." And Krampus is like, "Yeah."
Do they fuck there?
No, but they're like, this is the baby that goes on to feed 5,000 people with 5 things of bread and then heals the sick and like
Yep.
has this whole like Jesus bit. And I was just like,
Yep. It's
where the fuck did that come
And wouldn't
from?
Krampus have known Jesus? Because Krampus is ancient. So wouldn't he have been like, "Hey, guy"?
yeah. It's literally it's very
Hey, big
like
guy.
it's
Overlap there?
Yeah, it's just like for as much as the book talked about the like Norse and like pagan
this is another point where I
like
went
history, right? Like the Norse and the pagan history of Christmas
and everything. Yeah, what it actually was of Yule. We get
I'm not
to
gonna
it.
get on my soapbox for too long, but like we talked all fairly accurate throughout the book. Obviously, like some creative like license was used, but then to take the epilogue and do like a full right turn, like off the rails.
Yeah.
It didn't
Like,
match.
are you?
It didn't match the rest of
Are
the book.
you? Are you trying to preach to me?
Yes.
Yes.
And now tell me that Jesus is the reason for the season and not Krampus? Like, I wasn't happy with it.
Yeah.
It just kind of ruined it for me. But also, don't like talk about Jesus after you guys just boinked like
You
for a
don't?
long
Long
time.
time.
You don't? What do you mean?
Somebody
was
needs to
weird.
tell that to
Like-
one of my exes.
Ugh.
Yeah. At best, it was weird. At best, it was weird.
I ignored
But for
it.
me, I did not like it. I was pretty
It
upset about it.
tarnished the rest.
Yeah, it tarnished her. I mean, I was ready to give it like a 4.5 star, and like immediately I was like 3 star.
I
Like,
ignored it. I
I was
did.
just like, nope.
I just straight up ignored it.
Yeah,
Because I don't know, there's just so like it's delightfully like silly. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole like
and that's
the every single exclamation she has, like
It's so over the
Rudolph's
top.
red
Christmas.
nose, like everything is so nuts.
yeah.
I'm looking at she's written these 5 sentences on the Goodreads like um little blurb here. So this is from Krampus's point of view. Don't show them your tongue. Don't growl. Don't urge them to check your body for some non-existent zipper. Don't wag your tail. Don't show them how well you dance in hooves. When was he dancing?
That made me laugh. His don't list made me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. I totally forgot about that list because he mentions it very briefly at the beginning. Because I think Mephisto
Yeah, wrote it for him.
had made him a list of like,
Yep.
don't do this shit so that they don't keep running away.
No, like I said, I really liked this book, especially like after watching some very confusing movies. I think it's a great way to break in the holiday season, whether you do celebrate straight Yule, if you celebrate actual Krampus, if you celebrate Christmas, if you don't celebrate anything at all and you're just watching from afar, um, I think it's so ridiculous and like
Yeah.
the nicest way. Like
Agreed.
Yeah.
this thing's bonkers because I had read a different book on our bingo that I was ready to be so raunchy and I was so shocked. It hit me in the same way with Morning Glory Milking Farm, where I was like, hold on, this is really wholesome and cute. What am I reading? Not that I can't handle a cute, soft book, but this like broke it in. I was like, no, this is what I wanted to read. I wanted to be spanked by Krampus. I wanted to be strung up by lights. I want to be the Rockefeller tree.
Yep.
And he did
No,
that.
there's some really good curses that I think I'll be using through the holiday season that come from this book. Like fuck my jingly balls. Or you chuckle hooved overgrown Grinch. That one's good too.
I love the
So there's
chuckle
like
hooved. I said that out loud. I was like, I'm gonna save that. I love chuckle hooved.
so I highlighted so many things from this book that I really did enjoy. So I probably shouldn't let the epilogue get me down, but I think I was just cranky when I read it, so that didn't help.
No, I mean, I agree. It was silly.
Oh,
to
and then
take
that's
itself
not
too
a cock,
seriously.
Krampus. Yeah. When she sees his cock, it does funny. She goes, "That's not a cock, Krampus. That's a fucking Yule log."
I wish there was that
it's
play though.
true.
I think that's the only thing that was missing. Like I really like the art that they use for it. I am questioning just because so when we had originally read the first book Juno Delight put out, which Juno Delight has put out their second book, Frosted, which I have not read yet.
I'm reading that this week.
Yep, I might. I'm doing some traveling starting in 3 hours. In 3 or 4 hours, I'm going to be driving to the airport after this episode. But a lot of people got on Juno, like obviously it was their first book about the usage of AI cover. Everything Emily Shore has put out on their account has been AI generated.
That like AI outrage over Juno's like book cover was so bizarre to me. Like
It's just out of
that's what
nowhere, but
they're
I'm looking
focusing
at
on?
like Emily's stuff and I'm like, where was the same thing
Like they all
for
most of them
here?
are. Like let's be
Yeah.
honest.
I
That's
mean,
just
not everyone
what the world
has
is.
yet the option and the ability or the resources, funds, whatever it may be to go to an artist. They're working they're working their way up to it. I just think it was funny, the picky choosy, because the ones that Emily is actually like advertising with on their Instagram page is AI, which we in the last a couple episodes ago before we started recording, we talked about the usage of AI in writing because one of us, as in me, has a very, very strong opinion about I'm just gonna say it. I think that Iron Flame is AI written. I
You're
think
not the
that
only one from what I've
yep,
seen online.
I think Yaros wrote the first book and then fed the AI machine to the second book, and there is no possible way for that third book to not be AI written. If you want to come for me, my email is bfarrell@farrellfridaypodcast. @gmail.com. Whatever you want. Just smash it in there. I'll respond. You want to talk to Erin, just title it Erin, you stupid bitch. And talk about it. As someone who's currently read, I read a lot of books. Like I would say I'm a manic reader. As of right now, today is December 4th. I read 208 books this year. According to
Oh my
Wow,
God,
according
Erin.
to Goodreads,
That's
and I
awesome.
don't log it unless it is over 200 pages. That is, if you read one book a year, I'm proud of you. If you read a million books a year, I'm proud of you. Reading, I think, is fundamentally important, but I read enough I think I have enough skin in the game to say like, hey, I think this is AI. I also read AI for my job, and I don't think that Iron Flame was written 100% by a human.
I agree with you actually, Erin. So we can share the hate.
Share the hate, come at us.
You know, I just
Please
got the
be-
audiobook.
Like I said,
Please be mean to me.
please be mean to me. I actually really like it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like I said, I love the story in general. Just to round off my off track of Fourth Wing, I really liked it. I think that she wrote the whole first book. The second book, I think she fed it into something and it spit it out. And I'm upset. I'm sad about it because I like the story. I did. Not saying you shouldn't read it. I think there's lots of, we talk a lot about it in our Discord book club and other facets of that book club about reading not good things. Like I'm someone who does not DNF books because I think you should read bad books, to better appreciate the good books. I also like suffering and pain.
I
That's her
agree with
kink.
that statement.
That's
Yep.
her kink, and it's
Yep,
okay.
that's my
We
kink.
don't
I
yuck
like
that
to make
yum.
myself hurt. Sometimes I just have to just suffer. I suffer.
Which also, to bring it full circle, reading Kidnapped by Krampus has made me realize that whole sub-dom thing, make it hurt,
Yeah.
not my thing.
Okay, that doesn't have to be. That's I
Yeah,
would
I
say
was
it's a
just like,
pretty standard, like I wouldn't say it was anything too crazy either.
It wasn't.
Like,
It wasn't.
but it's
Yeah.
definitely
The-
not for everyone, that's for sure.
The holding up things with your vagina, like jingle bells, obviously, because it's
Oh
Krampus.
my God, what is it? What are those
What are
balls
they
called?
called?
Like
Ben
are
White?
they
Yoni.
bent
Benoit.
Benoit balls?
Benoit.
So
Yeah.
Benoit.
Benoit.
Yeah. But I thought those were Kegel balls.
I think they're the same thing.
Kegel balls as I search on my work computer.
There's like there's two names.
Kegel balls. That's it.
I bought some of those a long time ago, then I was too chicken shit to ever actually put them inside me because I was
like,
afraid they would get stuck.
I'll be honest, I've used them. I've used them. They're not that scary.
I mean, I probably should because I've had a kid, and sometimes I see myself when I sneeze.
Your hammock is loose.
Might be good exercise.
I am definitely out of practice, but I have used them in the past. With if anyone has endometriosis, it helps strengthen your pelvic floor and can make your pelvis stronger to help withstand cramps.
So I
I'm
should.
just very
Okay.
yeah. It isn't bad. Just make sure you get a good cleaner.
See, and that's where I'd fail because I am too lazy to take that action.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm excited to talk. So we're gonna be doing a lot of other fun things this holiday season. We're reading a lot of other not just Krampus books. If there are any holiday theme books, I want everything. Like I said, I picked one for our bingo that is a Hanukkah blue alien ripoff from IPB a little bit book. That is something I'm planning on downloading to my Kindle and reading on the plane tomorrow. I'm very excited. That's bumping it to the top of my list. But if anyone has any suggestions, please let us know because we've got 24. Was it 24 books on that list?
Yes.
Obviously.
Hanukkah starts this Thursday, so
Oh, perfect. I'll be
timely.
prepared.
Yes, it does.
Get my latkes ready.
So it'll be the second day of Hanukkah when the episode
Mhm.
comes out.
Okay.
Happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Hanukkah.
But no, that's what I like I said, I liked it. I gave it what did I give it? Sarah, you said you gave it a 3?
Yeah, I gave it a 3, but I'll bump it up to like a 3.5.
I gave it a 3.
Maybe it'll go higher when I stop being cranky.
I'd agree.
I gave it a
3,
3.
3.5.
Which is, I would say across the board, it was a lot of things I was looking for. A couple of the last books I read, I'm looking through my past ratings have been lackluster, I would say.
Agree.
I'm someone who's, I think I'm hard to get a 5 out of. I think my most common
Mhm.
rating is a 4. Like it's like pretty good. Would maybe read it again and is a 4.
It's got to be like a Rook's Grave
It's
to get
got
a
to be a
5.
Rook's Grave
Correct.
to get a 5.
I finished Company
Oh
of
my
Thieves.
God, I'm so
Ooh.
excited to talk about it. It's so good.
I haven't started it
Oh,
yet.
start
It's
it.
gonna. I'm waiting for my Christmas holiday vacation.
It is fantastic.
Good.
So this
I-
fanfic that I'm reading is actually the one that Kitty's been raving about on Instagram. She read it really quick. I didn't read nearly
Kitty
as
also
fast
did
as
not
she did,
sleep. That's why we're missing Kitty.
No, she didn't.
If anyone's
Yeah.
wondering where Kitty is,
I know.
Kitty's recovering
She's
from
made
not
herself sick,
sleeping for 2 days to
Yeah.
read a dead of time.
which is so on
And
brand.
it was in it. I have also been staying up until like 2, 3 in the morning because it is impossible to put down. This fanfic is so good, but there is a healthy amount of spice in it, and so I've been enjoying that.
I love that. I'm trying to get I go in like I'm a mood reader to the most severe degree, and I've been trying to get back into AO3, but what happens is I always just forget to download it to my Kindle, and then I'm reading it on the AO3 website browser through my phone, which is a pain in the ass. Because I read in dark mode, and then when I go on AO3, it is blinding white, and I'm dying. It hurts me. So I need to get better about that. But I had just finished Finder, which was another kitty rec. It is a Sire Hermione. So it is Sirius,
Ooh, I wanna
Remus,
read
and
that.
Hermione. My only critique was that it was not long enough. That is, yep,
Yeah, you don't have to worry about
a
that
dead
with
of time.
a
I
debt
know
of
that's a big boy.
715,000 words. Last night, or 2 days ago, Kitty was messaging me and she's like, I have only a couple chapters left, but it's telling me it'll be 6 hours worth of reading.
And I'm that toxic person that looks at 6 hours. I'm like, I could do it in 30 minutes.
Oh my God.
I never do, but I'm just like, I'm someone who like, it's like you ever like have to be somewhere, like let's say you gotta leave in 20 minutes and you like see the end of a
You beat the GPS.
oh, not beat the GPS. I will put on like a 30-minute show and be like, I can watch this 30-minute show in 20 minutes and then still be on time. I'm always late. I know who I am.
I definitely do try to beat the timer in the Kindle, like
Yes.
reading. Like,
Mhm.
you have this many. I'm like, oh, do
Absolutely.
I?
Are
Like,
you
I will
sure?
read faster. And I definitely do it with GPS. I don't try to speed, but I just try to
I
go
speed.
just fast enough.
Any cops
be
listening,
one-
stop listening to us. I speed.
Yeah. I have to be like 1 minute faster. If I'm just 1 minute faster, I'm okay.
It's called going at the speed of traffic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my
Which-
fault that the speed of traffic
Yeah.
is 20 over
Where
the
I
limit.
live,
I live
speed
in the
limit is
country,
the
so
speed
this-
minimum.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I live in the country, so the speed limit is
Whatever they don't clock you
Straight up.
at.
yeah.
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 Whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, as long as there's no cops, it's fine. And you can see them usually from a long distance away, so you just go boop 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 on the cruise control.
I was wondering what that was. I was like, what are you doing? While you drive?
Just like that.
Oh my.
But even then, you'll still get Hillbilly Bob behind you that's got to go 20 miles per hour faster than you. And you're like,
Oh.
why?
Always in a pickup.
Please stop.
Or where I am,
Lifted.
it's a BMW and they have to be up your ass at all times.
Yes.
At all
Very
times.
important.
Yeah.
Very important places to be.
Well, I think we completely covered
Yeah.
Kidnapped by
Now
the
we're
Krampus.
going on tangents.
And now I know we're already leaking into the tangent.
We stayed on topic for
We
so
did so
long.
good.
though.
I'm so proud
I
of
am
us.
surprised.
I'm very proud of us.
I will say this was the book to stay on topic for. I think it had so many shiny, twinkly things where all of us were captivated or promptly turned off like Ivy. Which is fine. It's not for everyone, but if you like, I don't know, if you want to get into like the full-blown holiday mood, read it.
Yeah.
Read it.
Yeah.
It's good for that.
Yep.
And if
It's
you
good for
really
that.
like oral sex,
It's great for
this is
that.
your thing. This is your thing.
Oh,
700
I will
pages
say
of it.
the forked tongue that could both like penetrate
And wrap
and
around.
diddle
tell me why I thought
and
it was
wrap
a fruit
around.
roll up. You know, the ones that have the squiggles that like you ripped apart.
Or and the tentacle fur.
Oh, that was weird.
Yeah,
That was super
It
weird,
didn't
but
make
kind of
sense.
cool, but weird.
I was like,
it
what do
doesn't
you?
have to.
But the fur is just like, gotcha. And
It's
like,
provocative. It gets the people going.
going.
Oh, one more thing. He talks about how sensitive his horns are.
And they never talk about it. Or they
Never
never,
goes
And
back.
then she never touches
there's
them.
no horn in a vagina ever.
But like even to like
I don't.
grab them while
I'm
she's
sorry.
like while they're banging.
A horn in a vagina?
That's where that
Sarah,
should go.
Wait, we read a book with that. That happened in a book somewhere.
Are you surprised? Are you shocked? This is a podcast about monster smut, Erin. That's where it should go.
No,
Or
we read a book like that.
or
Where was
it
that?
should go
What book was
Well,
that?
up her
there's
booty hole. Because we only alluded to the butthole and to the horn, so therefore let's
this is a new way to mount someone.
toss your head right in there.
Oh my God.
We did read a book in book club that had that happen.
There was a horn
we?
fucking?
Yes.
I'm trying to remember because it does sound like the IPB oh, what is it? What do they call it? You know what I'm talking about? IPB.
No, but there was a head
the
horn.
spur.
Spur, thank you. Now I'm thinking
No, it was a head horn
who
situation.
had head horn.
Head horn.
Head
Mhm.
horn.
Now we're off
But
on another
anyways,
tangent.
I don't know why
Yeah.
why did she leave out that? Because that would have been great, her holding onto those
Maybe there's a
horns and
sequel.
riding him.
Please let there be.
That would be good leverage.
The
It would
sequel
be.
is not going to be Krampus because this was like a two-part
Yeah, well, it could be
book,
um
book and book two is going
Friend.
to be something different.
it could be the
Book
demon right-hand
two-
man. I don't know.
Book 2 is going to be
Something. I will say there are a
Oh.
lot of vaguely Christian themed books here.
I won't catch
Two.
on to any of that.
Yep. So I see Bride of Lucifer, which there's more than one that refer to fallen angels. Aviary, which is an angel one. The Garden, which is an angel one. The Temple, which is an
Oh.
angel one.
Oh,
The
the
Temple
Garden.
Twins, which is a angel one. And then Sanctuary,
She actually, sorry, in her author's note talks about
religion.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
well, if that makes her
Okay.
float boat, if that floats her boat, then I'm here for it. I'm happy she's happy and
Christians can be
writing about.
kinky too.
Yep, I'm happy she's writing about someone getting fucked by Krampus. Thank you,
By Krampus.
Emily.
And his very large cock.
Torso
Torso
size.
size. Just pop in the chin.
I can't.
And
And
on that note,
thank you
Hey,
everyone
Brain.
for listening. Email us if you have any other holiday books you want us to read. And then also, if you have any questions, obviously, please pay attention to our stories upcoming. We're going to be asking a couple of questions where we need your help to bother our partners, spouses, and friends. We're going to be running a little bit of an episode where we're going to ask non-smut readers smut questions. If you've made it this far, keep an eye out for that because we're gonna open it more than once, and have you guys help us harass our loved ones.
Please and thank
I
you.
love it.
Please and thank you.
This should be good.
Right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Feral Friday podcast. Join us every Friday for unhinged shenanigans, books, games, and more. You can find us on Instagram at Feral Friday Pod. Did you know we have a website? Visit us at www.feralfridaypod.com. Make sure to give us a like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. If you'd like us to cover a particular book or series, please send us an email at bferal@feralfridaypod.com. Happy reading!
Feel Friday.